Hello, friend. Welcome. This is a quick tour of Clubhouse just to get you started. So, when you first open Clubhouse, you're going to see a feed like this. This feed in Clubhouse language is called a hallway. Now, it's really important to remember that this hallway is not the same for everyone. It's very much like an algorithmic feed, and it is dependent on who you follow. So, who you follow is actually quite important because the people that you follow will determine what you see. Now, one thing that's different from this platform over any others is that rather than think of the people you want to follow, think of the topics you're looking for. So let's say you want to play around with sustainability. You can actually just come and type into the search bar and you'll discover people that take the time to deck out their profiles who are working on interesting things. So that's why you're going to see people who have these really fleshed out bios. It's because this is how you get sort of discovered as an individual. You can also search for clubs. Clubs are really topic specific, whereas people, I think, really follows their interests. So instead of following people who you want to hear talk, think of it more like people whose conversations you may be interested in being a fly on the wall in. Who would you like to listen to? Because once you follow different people, most people spend most of their time listening, right? Unless they're just constantly talking about themselves, which gets really annoying. And so you can actually start discovering what are the conversations certain people happen to be in. So now you can see over here, for example, Sohaib is listening to stand-up comedy. And, I didn't discover it here on this main feed, but I can actually just say like, oh, I want to see what the stand-up comedy thing is. And I can just join the room they're listening to.
I have two questions.
And
My first question
have
is,
an
how do
experience.
you all
So
guard your health, your physical health, your
that's what
mental
this is.
health, your emotional
Once you're in a
health?
room
I
at
think
this
all of
moment,
us
I
are
can
going through
leave
some things
quietly.
with this pandemic.
And that's it. So there's very little pressure because you can just surf through different rooms. When you join a room, you're actually a listener, not a speaker. And what that means, it's pretty low pressure.
Like
The
the
other thing to do
day-to-day
inside
of
of a
living
room
and you
is
forget.
you
So I'd
can
love to have that little reminder
press the
every
plus sign on the
morning,
bottom to
like
ping someone
that
in. So
clock
let's say you're in
ticking
a room and
down
you're
that
like,
says
oh, this
make
is
the
fun.
most
I want to
out
invite someone
of
who I think will
today.
enjoy this tech could
I think
predict our
there actually
longevity
is
conversation. You can
a
ping
thing
someone
like
in.
that, Rahaf,
Otherwise, you
where
can
you
click on the
plug
hand
in
raise
certain metrics, and
and
every morning when you
people
wake
might
up, it
invite
gives
you
you
up
an
on the stage
estimation
if
of
the
how
discussion
many
is
days you
open.
have left.
Other than that, I'm going to start a room right now. When you start a room, you can start it open, closed. Social is people who follow you, people you follow. So it's kind of like a slightly closed room. And over here, you'll have Hatch, Dent, Explore. These are the clubs that I'm a moderator on. So I can start a club under a different thing. For a second, I'm just going to open a really quick room over here. Okay, good. Asia, I'm recording a quick tutorial, so I'm just speaking. So because I created an open room with no title, now random people can start showing up. I have a little moderator badge. That's a little green thing next to my name. All these people who are just joining right now don't have anything. One of the things that we do when you're on stage, so you can actually turn on and off hand raising, which is this button down here on the right corner. You can click on the edit button, and that's when you have the opportunity to limit the follow to different speakers. You can turn them off completely, or you can turn them on. So those are just different ways to interface with the room. One thing that I like to do sometimes is just to flash. So if someone's on stage and they're having a conversation, you can flash your microphone. When you flash your microphone, that means that you're actually clapping for the person on stage who you find interesting. You notice that Isabel, Marco, and Will in this conversation have little party hats on the bottom left corner. That means they've been on the platform for a little bit less than a week. And I have the opportunity to invite someone up to speak. So I know that Will just joined Clubhouse a couple seconds ago. And Will, I was going to send you this tutorial that I'm recording right now live. And so I just invited him up to speak, which is, instead of him raising his hand, was me inviting him up. If he accepts, if he's free, if he's not in the bathroom, he may come on stage. If not, it's totally fine. No pressure there. Arjuna is a friend that I've had on Clubhouse. You'll see that he's a little bit separated from the others because I follow him. Arjuna, I'm just recording a really quick tutorial because I have caught myself explaining to people every single time over and over how Clubhouse works. Maybe the last feature to keep in mind is a feature called, something called PTR, which is pull to refresh. When you pull the screen down to refresh, that actually resets the order of the people in the room, as well as changes your profile picture. So in the upper right corner, if you press and hold that button, you can change your profile picture automatically. It'll load your camera roll and hop straight in there. And now if anyone decides to pull to refresh, they're going to see the updated version. One thing you can also do, if you go in the upper right corner and you click on your name tag, and you tap your name, you can change your name. So you can correct your legal name, and you can also have a creator alias, which is kind of helpful. And if you want to modify your profile, you just tap your profile description, and that's where you can like deck it out a little bit more. So I think that's about it for my little tutorial. Thanks for the random people who've decided to drop into the room. Oh, hey, Nina's raised her hand, so this is what it looks like. I can now invite her up to stage and we can have a conversation. So this is kind of the serendipity of Clubhouse. You never know